For everybody, welcome back to another tier list. Now we've done goalkeeper, defence, now we're into the midfield. We're on number 8, centre mid. Every single one from the Premier League. You can let me know your thoughts in the comments. Obviously, we'll have a conversation. You can let me know whether you agree, disagree. I'm going to rank them S, A, B, C to D. And let's get straight into it. So we're going to start off with Ilya Gruev from Leeds. Now, again, Leeds midfielders. I think he's very good technically. I think he's all right. He's not anything special. I'm putting him straight in C. It's just a Ghana Gay now, someone that, again, I think if you're looking at Everton, you look at the season that they had, Ghana Gay, he left, went PSG, I think, then came back. Very, very good leader, got a bit of experience, loves to slap his teammates. But overall, I think he's been a very good player for them over the years, and his performances have been good. He's up and down the pitch. He's consistent in his performances. I think I have to give him a B. Then you have Bernardo Silva, for me, S. You're looking at Bernardo Silva, I know I'm doing it based off last season, but you're looking at his performances in the City shirt. They just seem to get better and better in each position that he played. He came in, was a right winger at the start, then moved to an inside 10. Then, last season he played a lot deeper next to Rodri, and they just controlled games. Him, Rodri, whether that was Cherki, Foden, whoever was playing in the 10, they were just lethal. And what a season Bernardo Silva had. I'm sure he's going to do well at Real Madrid. Only missed 9 games. So 460 games that he played at City out of a possible 469, I believe. That stat may be wrong, but it's something around that. Is a ridiculous stat. Bernardo Silva is a top level player. Again, someone that has experience, quality, technically he's unbelievable. Dribbling, I always remember that one dribble he did. Literally through the whole Liverpool team at Anfield, it was unbelievable. Yeah, so he's a really, really good player. As a United fan, don't want to admit it, but yeah, Bernardo Silva, S tier midfielder. Alex Scott for me is A. Last season was his first real season and his best season that he's had. I think he was really, really impressive. Got sort of a call up to the World Cup squad, wasn't actually in the squad, was just helping the team train. I think if you're looking at a player that has the potential to go to the very top, you're talking about Alex Scott. I think, it's been linked to clubs like Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United, Man City, all very, very top teams, and it just shows what a player he is. I think, he can dictate the play, he can also dribble, he can score goals. He's a very elegant footballer. I think Bournemouth have a real player there, and he's going to be very difficult to keep. I'm sure he's gonna want to leave, and he's destined for better and bigger clubs. But again, you never know what does happen this season. I mean, if the right money doesn't come in for him, he will stay. But in terms of a player, as I said, what you can do, really, really good. Declan Rice is the obvious S. I mean, he played more minutes than some clubs did last season, which again is just ridiculous when you think about it. I like Declan Rice. I think if I look at his performances, again, just consistent. I would say 7, 8 out of 10 every week. Set pieces, he's a joke. Chipped in with some goals. Had a really good World Cup, even though he was just dead on his feet towards the end of it. As I said, for Arsenal, they paid a lot of money for him, but he definitely has delivered. His individual performances have been great. You're looking at a midfielder that can do everything: run with the ball, tackle, score a goal. As I said, put a set piece into the box, win duels, press high. I think he was fantastic for Arsenal last season. And again, it pays me to say it again. He could be one of the best midfielders in the world. Don't want to admit it as a United fan, but you have to just be honest. He's a really, really good footballer, and for 100 million, you look at what players are going for now. It does look like a really, really good deal. Amadou Onana for me is a B. Now, I remember Amadou Onana from his time at Everton. Got that move a couple of seasons ago to Villa. I think if you look at him, he's just a good football player. Sometimes he does and is a bit rash in the tackle, and he might not be the best, in some areas of the game. But for me, in that Aston Villa team, now that Yuri Tielemans is gone, now that, Morgan Rogers is gone, it's going to be him and Kamara mainly. And I know he's got a big injury, but I still back him to have a very important season. He can win the ball. He's good aerially. I think for me, he had an alright season last season. But yeah, he's someone that I think very consistent for Villa. Yarmouk, I think he's got potential. 22 years of age, obviously playing for Brentford. Very, very good player. Need to see more of him. Pascal Gross, again, probably B. I think if I'm looking at Pascal Gross as a player, technically he's unbelievable. Cruyff turns, crosses into the box, but again, just hasn't got the legs anymore. And that's because he is 30, but, as Brighton legends go, he's one of the longest serving players. I know he left, but then he came back like a season later. I think a very, very good player all round. And again, with the legs of Baleba and with sort of Gross's technical and football IQ, I think they really do make a good duo. And I think he did have an impressive season last season for Brighton, where they were, starting to climb their ranks again in the Premier League. I don't know who this guy is, and he's Coventry's number 8. Listen, I'm going to judge him at the end of the season. Kamada, again, for me, he's a B. I think if I'm looking at, again, the way in which Palace plays a 3-4-3, very clear 3-4-3, I think Kamada with Wharton, or whether it's Hughes, I think he has a big part to play. Chips. I think his performance is going to the radar. I think when you talk about Palace midfield, most of the time you mention in Wharton, but people don't really talk about the role that Kamada does. I think he's pretty good, to be honest with you. Same with Sasa Lukic. He's the more... Sanderberg is someone that, obviously I talked about in the number 6 video, a lot of these partners that I did. He's the one that, more progresses the play. Sasa Lukic is more of the one that breaks up the play and going around winning tackles. I think he's pretty good at doing his job. For me, he has to go into B tier. This guy, I don't know, I believe he's Hull City's midfielder, same with Ipswich. Literally, I know it seems a bit frustrating that I'm putting them in, but I just haven't seen the players play, so I can't really put them into position if I haven't watched them. Bentancur for me, C. I think if I'm looking at Bentancur, not that great, to be honest with you. Spurs can move on. They've signed two good players now, 2 better players than Bentancur, to be honest. So yeah, it makes sense for him to move on. Not that great. And again, Tenali, Fernandez, 2 very good signings. McAllister, from McAllister's qualities, I have to put him at the bottom of C. D, because I don't know them, so D is kind of just for those 3. But he, for me, had a horrific season last season. Was all right in the World Cup, but still wasn't, what I want and what you want to see from someone like McAllister. I think he's a decent player, don't get me wrong. He can score a goal. He can dictate play from deep. Technically very good. Had a couple of good seasons at Liverpool, but last one was horrific. Same with Gravenberch as well. I think I put him quite low down. So for me, McAllister's a C. Siddiqui, a B. I think very good season. You have the blend again with Xhaka and Siddiqui too. Xhaka's that experience. Siddiqui's that, quality player. I think they have that good balance, and Siddiqui's unbelievable. Like, when I watched him, he looks like he's so mature for his age. And in the performances that he puts in, he's just brilliant. So yeah, I think Siddiqui's testing for big things. I think he can very easily get into that ANS tier. Kobbie Mainoo, I have to put him in at A. I think if I'm looking at some of the midfielders there, he's not at the level of Rice and Bernardo Silva yet. I think he really is a good player though, and he's got really, really good potential. I think this is a big season for him. He's had a tough last couple of months with the whole Amorim stuff. However, I think he will get some more big opportunity this season in the Champions League in the biggest stage, and what happened at the World Cup was just disgraceful. But yeah, really backing Mainoo this season. Bruno G, A. I think very good player. Let's see how he does at Arsenal. Very, very excited by the move. I think he's a player who, can do everything. He's going to take Arsenal to that next level, where they've already been so good, improve that squad. It takes the burden off Declan Rice, and I'm excited to see how he does. Enzo Fernandez is also he's a very good footballer. Might be frustrating to watch, but in terms of his season, I think he's pretty good. Chips in with a few goals, good work rate. Then Elliot Anderson, A as well. See how he does at City. I think I'm looking at Anderson. Is he a 6? Is he an 8? I've put him as an 8 just for the sake of the video, but he can play in all positions. I think he's a very good player. 160 million, you might disagree with, but he was always going to go for 100 million plus. And City, I think, do have a really big player there. And I'm sure he'd do well. But they are my number 8s. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned for the next one where I do number 10s.